Suicide Squad number 10, written by Adam Glass, art by Fernando Dagnino. Last issue was a crossover thing with Resurrection Man, which kind of plays into play here. We see Waller standing next to Resurrection Man's severed hand, and they're running some sort of tests on it, and it just keeps coming back. So just know that's a thing. Regardless, she's talking to Deadshot, and we see the Suicide Squad rising up through an elevator shaft to do whatever mission they're doing. And Waller's not giving Deadshot any information as to what it is they are actually there for until it becomes absolutely critical. So they reach a door up at the top of the elevator shaft, and who's standing there but Harley Quinn, finally back, ready to join the team. And she runs up and she's like, "Oh, Deadshot, thank you so much, you saved me." And Deadshot's like, "What in the hell? I shot you." And she's like, "Yeah, but you freed the... I'm no longer Harley Quinn, I'm Dr. Harleen Quinzel." So now she's, a doctor again. So Deadshot's not buying it, and Waller's just like, "Screw it, get on with the mission, go take care of it." And we see that they are in the Columbia Center skyscraper in Seattle, Washington, where a dude from Basilisk has a whole bunch of employees from this company, Gendrian, held at gunpoint in the conference room. And they're like, "Okay, what does he want? What is he doing?" And they're just like, "We don't know, but you need to take him out because Basilisk is obviously an issue." And they try to look into the employees there to see if they can get an idea of what's going on. And Black Spider's like, "Well, this is very interesting." We don't see why until the next scene where Harley Quinn walks in with a pizza. Says like, "I got a pizza pie here. Does anybody want it?" And the Basilisk guy takes one of the hostages and it's just like, "If you take another step, I'm shooting him." And then Deadshot proceeds to shoot all the hostages in the head. Like, not just wounding them, killing them. And he's like, "Hey, Basilisk guy, maybe don't pick hostages that have a worse crime sheet than you do." And to give his full name, it's Tyler Reese. So anyway, he shows that he's set up as a suicide bomber. He's ready to take them both out, and he's ready to go. But then the ice guy, I genuinely blanked on his name. Was it just Chill? I don't know. Regardless, he walks up, and he freezes the dude's bomb, so it's unable to go off. And then El Diablo comes in, knocks him out, and then particularly, searches him for weapons and any sort of thing that can kill him. So he takes out a cyanide capsule tooth, and he's like, "Oh, all right, he's not using that this time." So then we see them trying to investigate him a little bit, and Black Spider has a lot of information on this actually. Apparently he is a elite guard who's in charge of guarding the leader of Basilisk named Regulus, and he recounts this whole story of how he came across Regulus one time because he's just a myth, and apparently there was some drug dealers who were also metas, and they hid out in the sewers, and then one day he tracked them down there, and he found they were already dead, and they were killed by this Regulus guy, and the only reason Black Spider managed to escape is because of a freak miracle. So yeah, he's very scared of this Regulus guy. And so Deadshot calls up Waller, and he's like, "Hey, we have an elite soldier here. He's supposed to be a guard, but he wasn't guarding anybody, which makes me think this is a distraction." And so he's King Shark and Black Spider go off to take care of whatever the distraction, whatever the original thing may have been, whereas Deadshot and them held back. So then we see back with Waller, and Yo-Yo from issue 2 or whatever shows up because he got free during the Resurrection Man stuff from King Shark's stomach. And he attacks Waller, and I'm skipping ahead slightly here, but basically Waller's just like, "Yeah, no, I knew you were in there. And yes, I understand you're pissed off, but do you understand what we just proved? You lived in there for months. You are invulnerable, Yo-Yo, and that is very big deal here." So, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, we see Black Spider and King Shark making their way to apparently the main computer base room, and they were just trying to get some data off of their servers and take it for Basilisk's sake. And then we see King Shark as soon as they see King Shark, he swallows the flash drive. One of the Basilisk guys swallows the flash drive. So King Shark has to get it out of him, and he does. So then they call up Waller, and they're like, "Hey, all right, so here's the deal. The Basilisk guy you wanted alive is not anymore. He's foaming at the mouth. He was clearly poisoned somehow." And El Diablo, he's like, "No, I took all the poison off him. That shouldn't have happened." And Waller's like, "Yeah, no, here's the deal. There's a traitor in Task Force X. One of you poisoned him so that he couldn't talk, and we're going to find out who." And that's where we leave off. I like it. I'm very surprised. Well, okay, here's the thing. They've been setting up the yo-yo thing, like, consistently, so I knew it would be coming back. I'm surprised we got it here of all places. It just seems like a random place to throw it in. But I guess if you have to throw it in, you have to. I'm still not totally... Like, they're setting up Basilisk as, like, this thing, but I still don't feel totally sold on it. Like, they saying, like, oh, Basilisk, they're getting all these secrets or whatever, and their leader is something to be truly feared and marveled at. And I'm like, is he, though? Because I'm just getting, like, he was a myth that nobody thinks exists, except for Black Spider, who just told a very shady story about him. And we know there's a traitor in the group, so I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Basilisk, if it is to be the main threat of this arc, doesn't feel like it yet. Maybe they'll get there, but it just doesn't... It's not quite there for me. Also, the Harleen thing... They leaned into it a little bit, and I skipped over it, where like she was doing psych evals on like the Basilisk guy. Yeah, I don't know. It's still 50-50 for me as to whether or not I think it's working. Because like she did that immediately after she did the whole "who ordered a pizza" thing. So I don't know. I don't know the way they're playing this. All in all, it still feels like they're kind of in the setup phase of this arc. They're setting up like the mysteries and like who's doing what. It feels less about Basilisk and more about the traitor, which I'm okay with. I'm totally fine with seeing how that goes. But if so, I hope the Basilisk thing doesn't take too much of a forefront. Either way, skipping ahead to ratings here, I'm going to give it a 6.5. I think it's pretty good. It just has a few little flaws in terms of like, okay, well, we're just kind of... The end of this issue was there's a traitor, which we knew based off of narration, I think, 2 issues ago. So all we've done is reveal it to them. And Yo-Yo's back, so hooray.